Hello there, this is not a review but a informative video on how I got over a few issues I encountered when I purchased this about a month ago. It's a PP750 SMK PP750. This is branded as a Snowpeak. Sometimes they are branded as Artemis. It's basically the same gun. They all come from SPA, which is Snowpeak air guns in China. So here we go. This is where we kick off. I'm not going to give you specifications, lengths, weights and all that. I'll leave that to Rack from Rack and Load. That's his department. Unsponsored plug to McAvoy Guns, where I purchased it from. Family run business. Bought loads of guns off them. That's where I got it from. They've not paid me to say that. I'm just letting you know where I got mine from. Fantastic little air gun this is. A few little issues I encountered. Here we go. First thing was eye relief on the scope. Because the dovetail rail is only here, the scope had to be mounted quite far forward, which didn't suit me at all. Particularly when you pull the extendable stock right to its full. I couldn't get eye relief. So I went on eBay and I got this one piece reach back Weaver mount, goes to the dovetail, which is 12mm. Sorted it, absolutely brilliant, works a treat. So that's that sorted. Secondly was the trigger. Out the box it wasn't too bad, but it kept getting stiffer and stiffer and harder. Turns out there's a little screw inside here in the trigger that goes up, and that's your adjuster screw, and it was very sloppy in the thread. Kept working its way out. So what I did, I took that out. While I got it out, there's a very sharp point on the end of it. Took that point off with a bit of sandpaper. It took me about 10 seconds. Put the screw back in, but what I did first was put some wax in the thread, 2 strands of cotton up the trigger, or down trigger because I did it upside down. Put the screw back in, so it's acted as a thread lock. Works a treat, fantastic. Now I probably will put proper thread lock in eventually, but for now that's done the trick. So just watch for that. If you're happy with your trigger, great, but just might be worth just putting a bit of thread lock on that, just so you don't lose your screw out in the field. So that's that. So we've got the reach back on there, we've got the trigger. The other thing that people on YouTube have been moaning about, the dust cover on the fill port, loose and rattly. As you can see, mine's not loose and rattly. Easy fix, 10 seconds. Balloon bands. Kids used to make bracelet out of them. All I did was took one of those, it's basically a tiny rubber band, stretched it over, and it just filled the gap in the port thing, stops the rattle, tightens it up. You could use a very thin O-ring if you got one, would do the same thing, but that's how I got over that. The main thing I wanted to show you was the mod adapter. Again, completely unsponsored. Link to this, I've got a card here somewhere. Best Fittings, got that off Best Fittings, £20 including postage. They haven't paid me to say this, it's just that I'd like to tell you where I got stuff from. Screws, you just unscrew the cap out of there, screw this straight in. Absolutely easy. Just remember to hold tight to your barrel when you do it, because you don't want to thread your barrel. Even comes with a knurled thread protector. Black anodized, matches lovely with the gun. So put your moderator on, just like that. This thing is absolutely whisper quiet with the moderator on. Shrouded anyway, but it's really quiet with the mod on. Pallet Choice, I've tried quite a few. Air Arms, Field and JSP Exact, both really good in the gun, but the Exact do have the edge. They are that bit better. Grouping is fantastic on these. It shoots really accurately. Very happy with it so far. Obviously it's early days, and that's about it really. So I think we've pretty much covered everything. There is a piece of Picatinny rail screwed in underneath here to take the bipod. I don't really use a bipod much, only when you're fitting scopes and if you want to put your gun down somewhere, but I'm not going to go into that. Basically there's another video on this YouTube that'll tell you where you got a little piece of Picatinny rail, take the screw out from the action there, drill a hole, put it in. As they get yourself a bipod. It'd be handy for a laser or a torch if you didn't want to put a bipod on it. Yeah, there you go. As to the longevity of this gun, I couldn't really say. I've had it about a month. As I say, it is very accurate. Very pleased with it so far. After a year's time, if it's still going, I'll be happy, and if it's not, I'll be back on and tell you. Thanks for watching.